What's up, everybody, and welcome into the Wiregrass High School Football Report, your weekly look at all things high school football in the Wiregrass. I'm your host, Phillip Jordan, the in-studio host and producer of Dustin Football on 96.9 The Legend, and also cover the Auburn Tigers for the Auburn Wire at USA Today. We got a fun show planned for you guys this week. Going to be joined in a little bit by Dustin Harrison, the head coach of the Cottonwood Bears. They had an exciting 28-27 win over Ariton on Friday night. A very, very tight 2A Region 2 now because of that and some other results from Friday night in 2A. But we'll have Coach Harrison on in a little bit. Again, and when we go through the scores, I'll kind of give you an idea what happened there. If you did not see the highlights, you were not there, you didn't read the paper, all that good stuff, we'll let you know that. But then we'll jump into it with Coach Harrison. And, of course, we're going to look at all the Week 7 scores, and then we'll look at Week 8 here in the Wiregrass. Before we do that, let you guys know you can find me in the podcast. Find me on social media at P Jordan Sports. Find the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. If you're on Apple Podcasts, please follow, rate, and review. Leave a review, and I will read it on a future edition of the show. You can also check out the show over on my YouTube channel, Phillip Jordan Sports. You can always email me at sports.philipjordan@gmail.com. All right, let's go around the Wiregrass. All right, we're going to start off in 7A Region 2. This is a game you would have heard over on 96.9 The Legend. Dothan Wolves defeated Jack High School 56-24. Dothan now improves to 4-3 on the year, 2-3 in region play, and that was a big win for them there. Dothan scored 42 points in the second quarter after being up 7-0 in the first. Big game for A.J. Alexander, rushing for 144 yards and 4 touchdowns. Now, Enterprise defeated Opelika 42-20, puts Enterprise at 3-4, 1-4 in region play. So Enterprise is still on the outside looking in, but say, hey, our season's not over with. We still want to compete and just see how it falls, where we can land in this thing. And that helps Dothan out because with Opelika getting a few losses. So really, if you look at it, and Opelika still got some matchups, I believe, with Carver and with Central Phoenix City. With those matchups coming up, Dothan can win out, which, of course, that would mean a win over Auburn, a team Dothan has never beaten. But still, Dothan has everything in front of them potentially now if Opelika loses some games that maybe they're not going to be favored in. And there's some other big ones coming up this week, too, in 7A Region 2, because you have Carver and Auburn playing. So plenty of big matchups coming up there. In 6A Region 2, Rehoboth defeated Park Crossing 22-3. Rehoboth is now 3-4 on the year, 1-3 in region play. In 5A Region 2, Andalusia defeated Eufaula 42-10. Andalusia is now 6-2, 4-0 in region play, and Eufaula is 5-3, 4-1 region play. Carroll defeated Greenville 29-12 for their first win of the year. They are now 1-7 and 1-3 in region. And Montgomery Catholic defeated Headland 51-7. That puts Headland at 3-3, 1-3 in region play. In 4A Region 2, talking about a region that is really jammed up at the top with several teams trying to win the region. Ashford defeated New Brockton 16-6. That puts Ashford at 6-1, 4-1 in region. New Brockton 5-3, 2-3 in region. Ashford, Zay Johnson scored 2 touchdowns in the game. Dale County defeated Daleville 28-7 to go to 5-2 in the year, 4-1 region. Daleville is now 1-6, 0-5, and eliminated from the postseason. Junior Smith rushed for 2 touchdowns and threw for another. On defense, he collected 2 sacks, and he also blocked a punt. Opp defeated Geneva 42-21. Opp is 6-1 overall, 4-1 in region. And Geneva also eliminated from the playoffs, 0-7 overall, 0-5 in region. Taylor Wicker threw for 119 yards and 3 touchdowns for Opp in that game. Pike County defeated Strawn 34-28. Pike County is now 4-3, 3-2 in region, and Strawn is now 4-3, 3-2. So they both have the same region record. Braylon Jackson for Pike County rushed for 301 yards and 4 touchdowns. He scored the game-winning touchdown with under 1 minute left to go. All right, now in 3A Region 2, first up, Montgomery Academy defeated Slocum 52-0. Montgomery Academy is now 7-1 on the year, 5-0 in region. Slocum drops to 2-5, 1-4. Trinity defeated Northside Methodist on Thursday night, 49-13. For Northside, they were 0-5 overall and in region play. Slocum defeated Alabama Christian 28-23. Slocum 6-2 overall and a 4-1 region record. Houston Academy defeated Prattville Christian 21-13. Houston Academy is now 5-2 with a 3-2 region record. In 2A Region 2, let's jump into it. Cottonwood defeated Ariton 28-27. Cottonwood is now 4-3 overall, but 4-1 in region. Ariton is 5-1 and 4-1 in region. You also have Providence at 4-1 and GW Long at 4-1. So that is a region that is very, very close at the top with all the teams with 4-1 record. And with the Cottonwood deal too, wild game. They scored a touchdown late to go up. A 36-yard touchdown, go up 28-21. Think, okay, Cottonwood probably got this. Then Ariton gets down the field. They throw a pass in the end zone. It gets intercepted. But the Cottonwood player, in celebration, threw the ball up. Ariton player picked it up, ran it in. But then Cottonwood was able to stop Ariton as they went in to try to score. A 2-point conversion to win the game. So Cottonwood wins 28-21. In the game, Ethan Simmons had a big game at quarterback. 149 yards rushing, 1 touchdown. He had 149 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Trevor Tillman was a big playmaker too. 96 yards, 1 rushing touchdown, 3 catches, 129 yards, and 1 touchdown as well in that one. Providence Christian, they did defeat Abbeville 43-6. As I said, Providence is 4-1 in region, 5-2 overall. Abbeville is 2-6, 1-4 in region play. GW Long defeated Houston County 48-8. GW Long is 4-3, 4-1 region play, and Houston County is 1-6, 0-5 in region play. Geneva County won 40-14 over Sampson to improve to 3-4, 2-3, and then Sampson drops to 3-4, 1-4 in region. In 2A Region 3, Goshen defeated Pike Liberal Arts 51-7. That puts Goshen now at 6-1. They're 5-0 in region. Pike Liberal Arts is now 1-6 and 1-4 in region. Calhoun defeated Barber County 32-12. For Calhoun, they are 2-2 in region play, 2-5 overall. And Barber County is 0-7. Have not picked up a win this year. In 1A Region 2, McKenzie defeated Kinston 52-6. For McKenzie, that puts them at 7-0. Overall, 5-0 in the region. Kinston is 2-6, 1-4. Brantley wins 42-20 over Ferralla to stay undefeated in region play at 5-0, and they are 5-2 overall. Ferralla drops to 3-5 overall, 2-3 in region play. And then Elba defeated Pleasant Home 29-0. Elba now has won back-to-back games. They're now 2-6, but 2-3 in region play, and that's the important thing here. They're 2-3 in region play, so they're not out of postseason possibility. And for Pleasant Home, they're 2-5 overall, 1-4 in region play. And finally, in AISA, Abbeville Christian defeated Hooper Academy 44-0. Abbeville Christian stays undefeated with a 7-0 overall record, 4-0 in region, and Hooper Academy is 2-5, 1-3 in region play. And that's going to do it for Around the Wiregrass. You guys do not know, that is a tongue twister for me doing this segment every week, but I enjoy it. Enjoy letting you guys know what all happened around the Wiregrass. All right, now I'm going to play my conversation I had earlier on Sunday evening with Cottonwood head coach Dustin Harrison. And after that, I will run down the schedule for week 8 in high school football in the Wiregrass. Everybody joining me on the show this week is Cottonwood head coach Dustin Harrison. They're at a 2A Region 2 with a big win on Friday night, 28-27 over Ariton, and now 4-3 with 4-1 in region play. And Coach Harrison, I appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah, Phil, thanks for having me.
I mean this sincerely. As a coach, how long did it take you to kind of relax after what conspired on Friday night against Ariton?
Oh, well, I don't think I caught my breath until midday Saturday, and I think I was out of breath until then. And then Alabama, watching the Alabama game, got me out of breath again, and then it was pretty suspenseful as well. But no, it was it took a while to take it all in. It was such a crazy ending, such an exciting game, but a crazy ending, and a lot of it was kind of like a roller coaster of emotions. Thankfully, we came out on top. So
yeah, just looking at the game as its entirety, just what were your overall takeaways from your team in the game?
Well, Ariton's a very good team. They're a really good team, very well coached, and have a lot of talented players, and they do so much stuff well, both offensively and defensively. It was a big challenge, and I think the big takeaways of the game, we were very pleased with how we played up front at the line of scrimmage. Our offensive defensive line played very, very well, and everything's pretty even. We had about the same amount of rushing and passing yards at the end of the game. We had about the same amount of passing yards each team did, but we outrushed them for almost 100 more yards. And so that was a big difference in the game, was being able to establish the run. Our players made plays when they had to. Trevor played excellent, made a lot of plays for us offensively. Cade Strength made many plays for us on defense. Ashton Tillman played excellent on defense. Jesse Godfrey played really well on defense. It was a team effort. I could go down the list and name 10, 12 players. It was just that really stood out and played one of their best games of the year. And I guess the biggest takeaway from the game was resilience. So what now? What when things don't go your way, you got to have a short memory. So what now? What? It's over with. Now what are we going to do next? And it's very ironic. We went down the field, scored with about 26 seconds left to go ahead, 28-21, and had led most of the game until right there in the fourth quarter. They went ahead. I was 21-20, and our players just get their heads, on the prize, get their eye on the prize, and stayed focused on executing their responsibility and their job, and kept chipping away. And our defense got a huge stop, and we were able to go down and score and go ahead. And then at the end of the game, we had 3 plays. We intercepted the last one, and should have been ball game, but we kind of had a bonehead error and fumbled the ball behind us instead of just going down, and gave them opportunity to either hit an extra point or go for 2, and they chose to go for 2. And very ironically, the player that fumbled the ball is also the one that made the tackle to stop them and to win the game on the 2-point play. So excellent example by him. He made a big mistake, but I'm just so proud that he had the so what now what mentality and rebounded and didn't allow that mistake to keep him from making the play on the 2-point play. And resilience is what our team has faced all year. I mean, we've really grown in resilience. This team has showed a ton of resilience because there's been a lot of things go wrong this season for us in terms of injuries, and we played a really tough schedule to be a 2A team. And we've had a little bad luck, and that's stuff we can't control, and going through a lot of adversity. And our team, our players, I got to really give them the credit. They've been resilient. They've showed up. They've kept working. They've never quit, and they've improved as the season's going on, despite having many players out throughout the season and many key people not able to play with injuries. Our guys picked up the slack and improved, and I'm just very proud of them.
Yeah, so in the last sequence of the game, of course, you mentioned the part where you get the interception, the fumble, they score, and then they go for 2. And I'm just watching their 2-point attempt. You could obviously see their running back, Wells Gandy, wanted to go up the middle, but you guys shut that down right away, and he had to bounce it outside. And as you talked about, Ethan Simmons was one of the guys there to make the tackle at the end. Just talk about that play for your guys to end it there on that 2-point conversion, not allowing them to take the lead.
Yeah, man. They tried to run power out of their heavy set. They scored one earlier on us with that play and with that formation and all, and we knew they liked to do it on film. But anyway, on that play, Ty Booker did a good job coming downhill and drawing a line in the sand and taking on the kicks, which forced it to bounce. And then our cornerback got off of his receiver's block and was able to make it bounce further. He missed the tackle, but at least made the ball go back instead of continue to get right outside or go forward. And when it did bounce, we had Trevor Tillman, Ethan Simmons, and Gabe Evans were there to make sure that we got the stop. And those guys were flying like bullets. Ethan actually came from the other end of the field. He kind of took a chance. If they'd run a reverse or something right there, we'd been in trouble. But he was gone, and I felt like, he could have ran that ball all the way to 231 and tried to get to the edge, but I don't think he'd got it then. Like those guys were committed to making that stop, making that tackle, and they did, and they actually knocked the ball out, caused the fumble there. But at the end, so it was very exciting, very cool. And I'll tell you, a lot of credit to that number 5, Wells Gainey, for them. He's a very good player, and he played really hard on both sides of the ball. And he's a very good player, and just I'm really proud of our guys for making a stop. Even though that kid is very talented, very good, and our guys stood up to the challenge and made a stop there in a crucial situation to win the game.
Yeah, that was actually something I was going to bring about, talking about them with Wells Gainey, because it seems like Ariton's always got a running back that's really good, and a quarterback with the last name Sin, apparently always there at the school. But, for you guys, Ethan Simmons, big night rushing the ball at the quarterback position, also throwing the ball.
He played very well, had a lot of hard-earned yards, led our team in rushing, and made throws when he had to make them. He kind of had an off night to start with, and we talked about it. Again, just so resilient. Although he hadn't played the best he played so far in terms of throwing the ball, in the game when he had to make throws, he made those throws, and just hats off to him.
And that throw, it gave y'all the lead. Eventually the game-winning touchdown for you guys when Tillman caught it. It looked like he caught like the 25-yard line, but the defender actually tried to go for the pick.
He went for it. He did. Yeah, he went for the pick.
And then right after that, Tillman makes a move and he was gone. But also, that's got to be a lot with the timing too, with your quarterback and your wide receiver. Yeah,
it actually wasn't a great route. The route could have been a lot better. Then it would have had no chance to have gotten intercepted there. But heck, nonetheless, after he made the catch and made some guys miss, and Trevor just got a tremendous guy-giving ability. He's incredible, got incredible ball skills, incredible moves, and just he's a very talented kid, and he made some huge plays for us and was a big spark.
And then one of the earlier touchdowns, the 79-yard backwards pass that Tillman took 79 yards, and he made a great play and obviously showed the speed he has. But talk about also how important all the other players were in that play, just the blocking and everything.
Yeah, Chikizi Bostic for us on that play, made a really good block to help spring him, and so did Memphis, and they made their blocks, executed their blocks, and freed them up. And, it's a team game. A lot of times the guys that make the best plays get no recognition. And those guys may get good blocks right there to spring them. And, the same thing be said for the offensive line. Offensive line, like I said earlier, played outstanding. And Eli played one of his best games. Eli McCord played one of his best games of the year for us. He did an excellent job reach blocking and sweep block on the perimeter, and had several pancakes early on in the game. And then a kid named Gerard Cody played an excellent force. If I had to pick an impact player in that game offensively, it would have been Gerard Cody, because he played. He led block. He only got the ball thrown to him one time in the game, and he got a pass interference call. But man, he blocked his tail off. And right out of the gates, very first play of the game, offensively, he pancaked one of their best players, and then was hitting another and ended up blocking two guys on one play. And he did that multiple times in the game. And just he played excellent. He played the best game he's played all year. We're really, really proud of him. And a lot of that goes unnoticed to your average fan, but obviously that's a huge. If you don't have guys doing that, then you're not going to win that football game. So.
Yeah, and on the defense side of the ball, of course, you talked about K-Strength had a really good game, and then Simmons and Tillman other guys making that play on that 2-point conversion attempt where y'all won the game. What else stood out to you on the defense side of the ball?
Again, like our defense line up front played the best it's played this season, I think. Ariton's very good up front, has a very good offensive line for 2A and all. And again, Hunter Edison played really well. Hunter Hughes played great. Ashton Tillman played outstanding. I think he had 7 tackles as a defensive tackle, which is rare, especially when you're playing a team that runs spread like Ariton does. Those guys up front really recreated the line of scrimmage, made lots of plays for us. When they didn't make plays, they took on double teams to free up their teammates to make plays. They were huge for us. Cade Strength, again, he was a ball hawk. He made some mistakes, but man, he never made the mistake of not hustling and not getting there quick. And so when he made a mistake, he made it going full speed. Gabe Evans keeps getting better and better. He's a new starter for us. He's just starting. I think it's his second or third start in his football career for varsity, anyways. And he's getting better and better. And it's exciting. our guys laid on the line and played a really good team on the road. The 3 team in the state on the road and came out on top. And I just, we didn't look at it as if we were underdogs, but other people thought so. And our guys just kept their head down, went to work, and executed the plan.
And of course, this week you guys are going to be playing on Thursday night against Abbeville. I know you played on Thursday before this season as well, and in the past years too, is also. But what's the week look like for a Thursday night game?
Well, it's tough. Everything's moved up a day, obviously, and you lose one day of your practice day. So what we've done in the past is we've merged both Monday's schedule and Tuesday's schedule and kind of crammed it all together on Monday, and then made our usual Wednesday practice turns into Tuesday. But I don't know. There's no right or wrong way to do it. That's just how we do it, and it's a lot of cramming. You have to be more simple. If you try to put in a lot of installs on either side of the ball, then you get way less reps and less time to work fundamentals because you're already down a day. So I think on weeks where it's a short week like this, it's really important that you lock into the details that are most important and really spend time on those things and don't try to do too much. And Abbeville, is a very dangerous team. They've kind of been up and down a little bit this season, but they are very dangerous. They have speed like we hadn't seen this year. They have 4 or 5 players that are like track stars, and can run. And they've had some times where they look as good as anybody we've seen. And then they have some times where they've had a couple bad games, but we're probably going to get their best shot. And we got to be ready to play.
And I know this is more of a media question. I know you as coaches and players are just focused on Abbeville, but how big is it for the team to have these final 2 region games at home?
It's really big. We love being at home. Love playing at home. There's no substitution for playing a home game. You got your as far as your routine and everything. It's you have it down. Our kids know our routine and our game day routine. We have a convenience of being at home. It's really, really advantageous, especially in 2A, because a lot of the time when you travel, you may play a team that puts you a quarter mile from the stadium to dress in or to park, and so you got to figure out the logistics of getting the team down there. Do you take buses? Do you walk it? Do you walk that far back and forth? Do you go back at halftime, or do you just find a spot to kneel down on the field? I mean, it sounds small, but it can be pretty tough logistically to map out and make a plan so that you can stay on your routine and stay in your halftime routine. And being at home is a huge advantage for that. And then obviously, the obvious thing that being at home does is it gets your crowd involved. In Cottonwood, we have a great crowd, and our crowd goes with us on the road too. Mm-hmm. So we're blessed for that. But there's nothing like playing at home, and getting our crowd in the game, getting our students in the game early in it. It's like our players feed off of the adrenaline. They feed off the energy and the atmosphere that the fans make, and it makes it a better atmosphere, makes it more fun.
Yeah, I went back and watched on the NFHS site the highlights and the end of the game, and I could hear the Cottonwood crowd when you guys won the game. So as a person that graduated from Cottonwood, I know very well them guys travel. So that was great to hear. Real quickly before I let you go, anything else about your team I didn't talk about you'd like to mention?
No, man, I'm just to God be the glory. It's an epic week at Union Hill Baptist, and last week for fall break they do it every year, and a lot of our kids, almost every one of our kids win each night. It's kind of like a revival for those that don't know. But anyway, our kids went and had their lives impacted by Christ, and guys doing a lot of work in our players and through them, and it's just great to see us go and get some fruits of the labor. But regardless, the most important thing, more than winning and losing, is building men of character and building guys that are going to be stronger in life because they were part of this team and a part of what we're doing. And it's just been neat to see the growth, not just on the field this year, but the spiritual growth as well. It's been really exciting to see and encouraging to see this season.
Absolutely. And that's great to hear. Coach, again, appreciate the time. Good luck against Abbeville on Thursday night. And I appreciate you taking the time to come on the show.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
All right. Once again, thanks to Coach Harrison for coming on the show. Always enjoy having him on. And look, let's say what it is. I'm from Cottonwood. I'm a Cottonwood graduate, class of 2005. So I got really interest in Cottonwood. I'm not going to hide it. I do. So I'm glad to see Cottonwood doing well and having that great win on Friday night. Now let's look at the schedule for this week in week 8. We're going to start off on Thursday night, 2A Region 2. 2-6 Abbeville will be at 4-3 Cottonwood. On Friday night, 2A Region 2, Dothan at 4-3 will host 2-6 Smith Station. Enterprise will be on the road. They will be traveling to 1-6 Jack High School, who doesn't just beat Enterprise, goes into that one 3-4. 6A Region 2, 3-4 Rehoboth will be at 4-3 Stanhope Elmore. In 5A Region 2, 1-7 Carroll will be at 6-2 Andalusia, and 3-3 Headland will be at 3-4 Charles Henderson. In 4A Region 2, 6-1 Ashford will be at 6-1 Opp. That should be a really, really good football game. 5-2 Dale County will be at 4-3 Pike County. That's another good one. 1-6 Daleville will be at 0-7 Geneva. Both teams are trying to get their first region victory of the year in that one. And then 4-3 Strawn will be at 5-3 New Brockton. In 3A Region 2, Northside Methodist at 0-5 will be at 5-2 Houston Academy. 2-5 Slocum will be at 3-4 Alabama Christian. And then 6-2 Wicksburg will be at 6-2 Trinity. All right, 2A Region 2, 4-3 GW Long will be at 5-2 Providence Christian. 3-4 Geneva County will be at 1-6 Houston County. 3-4 Sampson will be at 5-1 Ariton. The 2A Region 3, 2-5 Calhoun will be at 3-4 Zion Chapel. 7-0 Laverne will be at 0-7 Barber County. 1-6 Pike Liberal Arts will be at 3-5 Highland Home. Then in 1A Region 2, 2-6 Elba will be at 3-5 Georgiana. 2-6 Kinston will be at 2-5 Pleasant Home. McKenzie 7-0 will be at 5-2 Brantley. And then 3-4 Red Level will be at 3-5 Florella. And then AISA 7-0 Abbeville Christian will be at 4-3 Fort Dale Academy. And that is your look at the games for this week. So it should be an interesting week of games as we're getting closer and closer into the regular season. It feels like we just started in August, and now we are getting closer and closer to the end of the run here in the regular season. But we will be here keeping you updated throughout the playoffs and all that good stuff here on the Wiregrass High School Football Report. Everybody enjoyed the show this week. Everybody enjoyed my conversation with Cottonwood head coach Dustin Harrison. We'll be back next week, recap all these games, have another coach interview, and look ahead to some more matchups. Remember, you can find the podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, my YouTube channel, Phillip Jordan Sports. You can follow me on social media at pjordansports, and you can also email me at sports.philipjordan@gmail.com. Hope everybody has a great week. Go see some high school football this weekend. Until next time, bye-bye.